Before I started this program, I was suffering acid reflux on a regular basis. I mean, 2 or 3 times a day sometimes. And it got so bad that I ended up with a herniated esophagus. I had a scope go down. They found all kinds of polyps and all kinds of stuff. I have trouble sometimes if I don't chew my food enough, it gets stuck. I have to either force it back up again or drink copious amounts of water to force it back down again. It's quite bad. So the acid has been a problem in my life. So I quite often have to treat it with like sodium bicarbonate or something like this to kill the acid, because I just can't. Anything I eat, it seems to be I don't even know what it is. Sometimes it's things that I eat normally that don't do it, and then it does do it. I don't know. It's crazy. It was excruciatingly painful. It would just come up and it would just burn and burn. It would last if I didn't treat it, it would last for hours. It's unbelievable. I couldn't lay down. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do anything if I didn't have treatment for it. I was probably the most unhealthy I've been in my life. I was about 104 kilos. I had arthritis in both knees, my thumbs. I had all kinds of pain in my thumbs. I had shoulder problems, neck issues. I would constantly be throwing my back out. Yeah, just old age, that sort of getting up in the morning and the creaking bones and doing any kind of physical activity was sore and uncomfortable. And I would pay for it for days afterwards if I did anything strenuous. Man, when we started the journey, I guess I was skeptical. I mean, you have to be skeptical of something that says it's going to transform your life in 90 days. So I definitely started out feeling like there was some expectations, but also not getting my hopes up too much. I wanted to temper it a little bit because, obviously, like I said, the transformation of life in 90 days is a little bit of a big ask, especially with my past experiences with programs and with trying different diets and things like this. Nothing really has solved all the problems or ticked so many boxes that I can say it was transformational. Certainly I've had gains and I've experienced positive things from different courses, but it's tough to invest that much into a 90-day program. The first thing I noticed was that I just started feeling better, and the biggest thing I noticed was that the cravings for food that I'd always had started to go away. So I used to drive down the road middle of the day, maybe before lunchtime, whatever, and I would just be thinking, what am I going to eat? And looking at the shops and the fast food places on the side of the road, thinking, it was almost like I had to keep myself from going to these places because the hunger inside and the need for this kind of stuff. But that started to dissipate fairly early in the course. So I was, within a few weeks, I was forgetting to eat. I wasn't thinking about food all the time. And when I did think about food, it was like, oh, there's going to be a steak coming. And it was like, and I really enjoy that. And then I would eat enough and I would go on to the next. So it was pretty revelatory as far as the changes in my body that I've seen during this course. It's been unbelievable. My waist has gone down, I think, like 8 centimeters? I can't remember. 5 to 98 now I measured this morning. So yeah, 7 centimeters I think I've lost in my waist. The sort of flabby gut around the middle is there. I've got definition in my arms and my chest. I'm getting my 6-pack back. It's coming. I can see the shadow of it. It's just been crazy. I'm actually, I don't know, I'd say 3-4 months ago I would look in the mirror and nude and just like, it would be painful to look at. And now, it's sad, but I'm flexing. I'm looking in the mirror thinking to myself, wow, it's a pretty attractive body. So that's been awesome. Absolutely awesome. Cutting out all the carbs and stuff has reduced the inflammation in my joints to the point where I think in the beginning of the course I probably could do maybe 40 or 50 squats and just burning and pain in my knees, and now I'm doing 200-300 of them without a problem. I mentioned my thumbs before. I think many years ago, long motorcycle trips and probably texting and other stresses, I ended up with lots of pain in the base of my thumbs, both hands. It was getting to the point where it was, especially on cold mornings, it was just so painful. I think I still have a little bit of it, but it has noticeably reduced over the last 90 days. I don't get that debilitating pain anymore from it. My knees also, I'm just doing squats. They still snap, crackle, and pop because of all my knee injuries, but I don't have that swelling and pain around them anymore. I had shoulder problems. I don't know. I was experiencing all kinds of little issues, and they're gone. I have no problems at all with my shoulders anymore. Lower back, I was popping my lower back out on a regular basis, and now that I haven't had any issues at all. I've been, not a single even hint of an issue with my lower back. One of the goals of this program was to reduce or get rid of this acid issue. And so the fact that it was an exclusionary diet has been very, very helpful. So I've been able to see, to a certain degree anyway, because I haven't really been introducing other foods in, but also just, I think a big problem that I found was that I was drinking too much water with my food, so I was diluting the stomach acid. But also just any of the foods I was eating. There were so many foods that were causing me problems. So going to meat only, immediately I started seeing a reduction in the acid problems. Now, 90 days on, if I have an acid reflux problem, it is very short. I think I pretty much attributed it to just drinking too much water with a meal. The incidence of food getting stuck has reduced. I feel like my esophagus is mending finally, which is good. I don't think I've had any disruption in sleep due to acid in a good 2 months now. And during the day, if it does happen to me, I can think to myself, what's causing this? I can easily go back through my very, very simple diet and see if there's any food or if it was maybe just too much drinking when I was eating. But I feel confident that the longer I stay with this, the less acid I will have, and eventually it'll be gone. I think that's another thing also with the arthritis in the joints. The longer I go on this diet, the less pain I have. Maybe I'm giving the course too much credit, but from my perspective, it was much more than the life-changing thing that it was promised. Another amazing thing about the course was the camaraderie. So we were 5 guys together on the course with Patrick. So 6 of us basically. We met once every 2 weeks. We stayed in constant contact. We were in the exercise app together, so we saw each other's workouts and how we progressed. A little bit of friendly competition as well here and there. And I knew that when I got up in the morning and I didn't feel like doing my workout that day, that in my mind I thought I can't let these guys down, and so I went and did it, and I felt better, of course, afterwards. What was the saying that we were saying, or the mantra we were using quite often in the course was, getting into a workout can be quite hard, but nobody has ever regretted doing one. So after the workout, you feel good, you feel positive, and then you go have a steak or whatever it is. I think the greatest revelation for me about food is that, first of all, I really enjoy the carnivore diet. You'd think that there would be a lack of variety and that it would be a boring diet, etc., but absolutely not. When it comes to eating time, my mouth is watering. I enjoy every bite of the food I prepare, and I look forward to the next meal. It is absolutely, I mean, there is not a lot of variety in it. I've mixed up a few things, but I mean, I don't need it. And that's one of the greatest things also, is the simplicity of it. When I go shopping, I know exactly where I'm going in the store. I get what I need. I leave. When it comes time to prepare a meal, there's no stress involved in choices, in figuring out different ways to cook something or trying to keep things interesting. I cook what I want, I make it, I eat it, and I love it, and I go on with my day. And there's hours and hours of my day with the cravings, with the planning, with the shopping, all these things have been cut out, and it's just so simple and it's so easy. And anywhere I go in the world, I can always find something that I want to eat, that I can eat, and I eat it and I go on to my next thing. This came at the exact right time in my life. I needed this, and Patrick, you are a wealth of information. You have completely changed my thinking about food, the way I look at my diet, the way I look at the world around me, the way I interact with other people. I came into the course skeptical, thinking to myself that, it can't be as good as what's written on the tin. But after going through the 90 days with the group of guys that I did it with, and with Patrick there, and the revelations and the change in my body, I can say that I never imagined it would be as good as it has been. It has been more than life-changing. It's been perspective altering. It's been future planning changing. It has absolutely redefined how I look at myself, how I look at the world, and what I think about getting older. I'm not scared of it anymore because I have tools. I have tools that if for some reason I get off the rails, I can reset quickly. It's so easy. It's so easy. Oh my God, it's so easy. I highly recommend hanging out with Patrick for 90 days.